Time now for ABC4 Utah Sports with Dana Greene.
Thanks to last night's rainout, the Salt Lake Bees had to play a doubleheader to open the PCL Championship Series tonight in Omaha. The Bees lost the first game 3-2. In the nightcap, another pitching duel. Scoreless in the top of the fourth when Scott Cousins singles home Efren Navarro to give the Bees a 1-0 lead. Tommy Hansen was dealing on the mound for Salt Lake. He goes 6 1/3, gives up just 1 run on 4 hits, strikes out 4, but the Storm Chasers come back, win it with a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th inning. The final score 2-1. Game 3 of the best-of-5 series is Friday night at Spring Mobile Ballpark. Real Salt Lake's Kyle Beckerman and Nick Raimondo returned home today, fresh off last night's 2-0 win over Mexico for Team USA that clinched a spot in the 2014 World Cup. Beckerman got the start, played the entire 90 minutes in the midfield. Team USA still has 2 matches left, but last night's win was the clincher as they qualified for the World Cup for the 7th straight time.
Yeah, it's great, awesome. To do it against our biggest rivals and qualify on the same night was awesome, amazing feeling. To get it done was important for us. Now we get to relax. We can start to look forward towards Brazil.
More importantly, what was the party like afterwards?
Yeah, it was cool. It was really cool. It was a little similar to the Gold Cup, so it's been a fun summer.
RSL's at Seattle on Friday. Well, concussions have been a hot topic in the world of football the last few years, and a handful of local high schools have taken measures to help reduce concussions by using new protective headgear on their helmets. Football is not a contact sport, it's a collision sport. And Corner Canyon junior Matt Scheffner has suffered multiple concussions.
You don't know where you're at, really. You're just, lost. And you don't really know what's going on, and you have a huge headache all the time.
When did you get a concussion?
2 weeks ago, I got one.
What did that feel like?
I don't remember that day, actually.
Football players across all levels suffer roughly 100,000 concussions per year. And while they probably can never be truly eliminated, a new product has hit the market called Guardian Caps that claim to reduce the impact to the helmet by up to 33%. And it didn't take much to convince Corner Canyon head coach Don Eck that these things work.
He had 2 helmets with the Guardian Cap on it, had me put my hand out like that and slam the helmets together, and I didn't feel a thing.
All right, let's see if coach is telling the truth. 1, 2, 3. Kind of hurt. Corner Canyon is one of 5 Utah schools currently using the Guardian Caps during practice, and so far the results have been positive.
In practice, you just don't feel any of the hits. So you don't get a headache.
I've actually suffered a couple from lacrosse, and so I wanted to play football again, so my dad was like, you gotta wear this if you're gonna play, so no more concussions.
The kids that have them on our team are kids that have had a history of concussions, had them in the past, or have had a concussion here within the last 3 months.
With several studies showing that concussions can cause brain damage later in life, parents are becoming more reluctant to let their kids play. So we could see a day where protective caps like these are used in games.
I hope they can come up with something that can, eliminate concussions, because it is a serious issue. And to me, this Guardian Cap is kind of a blessing for us.
They help. And so maybe, in a couple years, we'll all be wearing these things.
What do you think how it looks, though? Does it look cool enough to wear?
I don't think it looks that cool, but if it's gonna help you with concussions, wear it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, fashion takes a backseat.
Right.
There's about 300 schools across the country that are using these Guardian Caps. They're becoming more and more popular. Not used in games yet.
Right, but if everyone had it on, then you wouldn't look uncool.
Right.
We may see a day where this happens. They've been doing stuff from helmets from the inside. Now they're working on the outside, too.
It's smart.
Gotta do something.
Time now for ABC4 Utah Sports with Dana Greene.
For the first time in 5 years, we have playoff baseball at Spring Mobile Ballpark. The division champion Salt Lake Bees open a 5-game series tonight against Las Vegas. The Bees hadn't made the postseason since 2008. They've never won the PCL title, but Vegas strikes first in the first inning. Dustin Lawley with the base hit to left. Ruben Tejada and Rylan Sandoval score. The 51s eventually take a 3-0 lead, but the Bees come back. Efren Navarro shoots one back up the middle. Here comes Matt Long motoring around third. He scores to make it 3-1. Later in the fourth, Luke Carlin draws a bases-loaded walk, and the Bees go on to win it in the 9th on a walk-off home run by Matt Long. The final 4-3, Game 2 tomorrow night at Spring Mobile. Usually, the kicker on the football team is one of the smallest and least athletic players on the squad. Well, not at Utah, where Andy Phillips has gone from world-class skier to rising star. Andy Phillips had never played a football game in his life, so you could imagine how he was feeling last Thursday.
You know, going into the game, I was obviously nervous. A lot of pressure just to perform well.
You know, I was bragging on Andy through fall camp, but with an asterisk saying he'd never kicked in a game yet.
But Phillips knows all about pressure, just not on the field, on the mountain. Phillips, who grew up in Sandy, was on the U.S. national ski team for 4 years, but 2 years ago he gave it up to go back to school, and one day decided to give kicking a shot.
I was just playing some family football and started kicking some field goals with my brother. My family's a huge soccer family, and so we were just trying to kick farther and farther field goals, and you know, then I just kind of all happened. I sent some film in to Coach Hill, and he brought me up here and gave me a shot.
The dangers of football obviously didn't scare him. That's Phillips wiping out in a race a few years ago. He's broken bones all over his body. But believe it or not, he says there are similarities between skiing and kicking.
Ski racing is kind of like football. You train for hours and hours, and you know, you get one shot. And I've had a lot of training to where I can focus in.
Phillips won the job in training camp, and in his first game, he made all 3 of his field goals, all 3 extra points, and in the biggest play of the game, Phillips executed an onside kick to perfection.
I was so pumped up from making my field goal that when he said that, I was kind of just like, all right, here we go. Let's turn this thing around, and it was once in a lifetime kind of feeling, you know, it was just unbelievable.
For a kid that had never played in a football game at any level, in any circumstances, you know, he'd been a skier and a soccer player, phenomenal poise and mental toughness that he showed.
So from national skiing star to football hero, it has been quite the journey for Andy Phillips, and he's just starting to shred.
You'd asked me, you know, 2.5 years ago, I would have called you crazy just because I didn't ever see this as my path.
Incredible journey. Got the game ball in his very first football game. What a guy.
And the onside, too.
And the onside kick,
The
perfection.
little things. Yeah. All right.
Impressive.
We love live tweeting on air, right, Dana?
Yeah, Dana's been following Twitter all night. What's going on in the Twitter sphere?
So much, guys. You know, with the NFL kicking into gear today and the big college football weekend that just took place here locally, Twitter is just flooding with sports takes and comments like this one right here from Ben. He tweets, did the Twitter eruption over Texas versus BYU spur the Diaz termination decision? After BYU put up 550 yards rushing on the Longhorns last night, Longhorn fans went nuts on Twitter, and Texas head coach Mac Brown fired his defensive coordinator today, Manny Diaz. Somebody had to take the fall for that, right? Are you surprised he got fired, though?
No.
An anomaly.
Didn't surprise me.
Okay.
I thought he was going to get fired at halftime. All right, so our guy Dunny must really be itching to get back here because it looks like @Original Winger sends us this question. Who starts in the U.S. men's national team's midfield in place of Michael Bradley? #miss you. Big game on Tuesday against Mexico, World Cup qualifier, guys. Do you think Kyle Beckerman's going to slide into the starting 11?
I think if he's not in the starting 11, something's going on.
Yeah.
All right, NBA camps open in about 30 days. Can you believe that? Utah Jazz great John Stockton was lauded by Gary Payton all week as Payton went into the Basketball Hall of Fame tonight. Now, Payton went as far as to say Stockton was the toughest player to guard, even more so than Michael Jordan, which caused Nomad to ask this question on Twitter, Jerry West or John Stockton? Who was better? Interesting question, seeing as they played different positions, but what do you guys think?
Apples and oranges, Dana. It's
If I'm picking sides, I'll take one as my point guard and one as my shooting guard, though.
There you go.
As long as Brian Russell is guarding Michael Jordan, right? All right, it seems like Cougar fans have quickly forgotten about the Virginia debacle and replaced all those bad memories with good ones from last night's blowout win over Texas, because @SaltyBlockBoy, love that Twitter handle, he wants to know what will be BYU's win total this season with the go fast, go hard offense. I think a lot of people had Virginia as a win, Texas as a loss. The reverse happened. So has your opinion changed on total wins for BYU?